Hi there and welcome to this video on ChatGPT. Now, if this technology is fated to take over the world, we may as well have it amuse us in the meantime. And so in this video, I'll share 3 examples of it doing just that. To get to this point though, I've had to overcome ChatGPT's ethical objections. For example, I asked it to reimagine the Hound of the Baskervilles with Holmes as the murderer. It refused, saying this would be a disservice to Conan Doyle's work. Similarly, I asked it to incorporate a game of Twister into King Lear, and again it said no. However, I found that it's happy to combine literary works and summarize them. It will also provide a report of a sporting contest between characters from works of literature, and in the final instance it will respond to a job application by a character from a work of literature, turning them down and providing reasons why. Okay, so let's go on to the first example, Kafka and the Mr. Men. The prompt was, write the first page of a novel that combines the trial with the Mr. Men books. As Mr. K was led into the courtroom, he couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. He had been accused of a crime that he didn't commit, and he knew that the trial ahead would be difficult. But as he looked around the room, he noticed something strange. All of the jurors and witnesses were characters from the Mr. Men series. Mr. Happy was the judge, presiding over the trial with a smile on his face. Mr. Grumpy sat in the jury box, his arms crossed and a scowl on his face. And in the witness stand, little Miss Chatterbox was already talking a mile a minute, eager to give her testimony. Mr. K couldn't help but wonder what kind of trial he was in for. He'd always been a fan of the Mr. Men books, but he had never imagined that they would play a role in his own legal proceedings. As the trial began, Mr. K listened carefully to the accusations against him. He'd been accused of stealing a valuable item from a local museum, but he knew that he was innocent. He would have to rely on his own wits and the help of his attorney, Mr. Clever, to prove his innocence and clear his name. But with such an unconventional jury, Mr. K knew that anything could happen in this trial. He took a deep breath and prepared for the fight of his life. For the second example, the prompt was, write a report of a tennis match between Frankenstein and Dracula, and this was the result. The match would likely take place in a Gothic setting, such as a castle or a cemetery, with a large crowd of spectators eagerly watching the game unfold. Frankenstein, with his imposing stature and immense strength, would likely have a powerful serve and a formidable net game, while Dracula's speed, agility, and tactical acumen would make him a formidable opponent. The first set would be closely contested, with both players trading blows and exhibiting impressive skills on the court. Frankenstein would rely on his brute force to overpower Dracula, while Dracula would use his cunning and agility to outmaneuver his opponent. Eventually, Frankenstein would manage to edge out the first set, much to the delight of his supporters. In the second set, however, Dracula would begin to show his true form. He would use his supernatural abilities to gain an edge, darting across the court with lightning speed and executing perfectly placed shots that would leave Frankenstein scrambling. Despite his best efforts, Frankenstein would struggle to keep up with Dracula's pace and finesse and would eventually concede the second set. The third and final set would be a nail-biting affair, with both players giving it their all and refusing to back down. The crowd would be on the edge of their seats, cheering on their favourite player and hoping for a dramatic conclusion. In the end, it would be Frankenstein who would emerge victorious, using his raw power and determination to overcome Dracula's tricks and secure the win. Despite the fantastical nature of the match, it would be a thrilling and entertaining spectacle, showcasing the unique abilities and strengths of 2 iconic characters. The prompt for this final example was to turn down Fagin's application to work as a store detective in a jewellery store. Dear Fagin, thank you for your interest in the position of store detective at our jewellery store. We appreciate your application, but unfortunately, we must inform you that we cannot accept your offer at this time. While we understand your experience in theft prevention and surveillance, we have concerns about your background in organised crime. Given the sensitive nature of our business, we cannot risk any association with criminal activity, even in the past. However, we believe that your knowledge and experience in security could be useful in other industries, such as private investigation or cybersecurity. Your skills in risk management and threat analysis would be highly valued in those fields. Thank you again for your interest in our store, and we wish you the best of luck in your future career endeavours. Sincerely yours. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed those examples. It was incredibly difficult to read them with a straight face. I'll leave a serious discussion of ChatGPT for another day, but for now, all that remains is for me to bid you farewell. So, until the next time, be safe, be strong, Nanu Nanu.